This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so primarily today we are focusing on Jenkins pipeline, right? That is a question. So please feel free to ask any questions, interrupt me in between, and we'll get started. So here, the first thing, what is Jenkins? So we all understand that. I don't have to tell you. It's a CI tool. Now, here when we say CI, that means we are going to use, integration. So here we are going to do the planning, then coding, then we do the scan of the code, and then we do the building the code, then we do the UT of the code, and then we packaging, then we archiving this package, and then we deploy to QA, correct? Deploy to QA server, and then acceptance testing, and then finally code coverage. These are the things we do in CI, continuous integration pre-production. So now if you look at this here, these all things we do in the CI, and tools are different. So tools are probably here you have Jira, probably you have Git, probably you have SonarQube, probably you have Maven, probably you have JUnit, probably you have tools like jar var file, and then archiving, maybe which tool you are talking about. So you're talking about the Nexus, correct? No?
Nexus.
Yeah, Nexus. And then deployment to queue, which tool you are talking about? Ansible, right? So here Ansible, and,
Yes.
and acceptance testing, maybe Selenium or something like that. So here Selenium.
Selenium.
So yeah, and code coverage may be Java, because this is Java product if it is. So these are the tools we have for this. So then what is the use of Jenkins? Then Jenkins will integrate everything. You see here, Jenkins can integrate with uh, Jira, Git, SonarQube, Maven, Junit. So everyone has to talk to Jenkins now. Okay, so it's very innovative tool right now. And though if you want to understand the more about the Jenkins, you can check it out. So here my videos on that LMS or DevOps School channel. So this we all, let's say I'm a development team, and this is a QA team, and QA people, and this is operations people. So we all communicate with Jenkins for understanding the CI operations. And Jenkins can integrate with Git, Jira, SonarQube, Maven, JUnit, War, Nexus, all these things. And basically this integration what we want to establish, this integration. That means if you look at the whole process of CI, then you will find it like the coding is done, and then from here to here everything should be automated. Everything should be automated, and here you should get a feedback. You can get a feedback at the every level also. Feedback here, feedback here, feedback here, feedback here. Every level also, but in between there should not be any manual work. Are you understanding? All of you?
Yeah. I am.
Yeah. So here, this is the feedback we want, and between this, all these things has to be automated. So that is the Jenkins which we are doing. Now, next concept which has come with the Jenkins pipeline. Okay, and this is something which we are focusing today. Jenkins pipeline. So what is a Jenkins pipeline? So pipeline is like a pipeline, simple. So if you understand this MS Paint, and let me try creating some pipeline. So pipeline is like a pipeline, simple. So here this is this is my pipeline, and here is entry point, key for entering, and this is the exit point. This is the pipeline. Okay, so now the question is, okay, fine, but what is pipeline? This pipeline is doing in Jenkins. Okay, so what pipeline is doing in Jenkins? So here the concept is very simple. Between the pipeline, okay, you send the code, and at the end of this pipeline, the code which is getting responds only feedback. This code is good. I mean, I'll put it simple way. Good or bad. Simple. So this processing of this process, and in between there should not be any manual interventions. So here you do the build, same thing which I'm discussing right now. Either you do the scan here, and then here you do the build. Here you do the deployment, whatever you want to do, and all. Here you do the QA acceptance testings, which I was talking about here, and then code coverage. So whatever you do here, it should be going to the pipeline without any interferences of manual interferences and all, no human interferences. And then the code should be good or bad, just I should know. That's all. So this is the called pipeline. Now pipeline, you understood this concept of pipeline?
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah. Now this question is, what is Jenkins pipeline? So yes, pipeline here is what is pipeline. So pipeline, you understand. And next one, what is pipeline concept in software development? That is something which you need to understand. And then Jenkins pipeline, the one which I discussed. So now how can you what is Jenkins pipeline? So that is the third questions. What is Jenkins pipeline? So here the question is very simple. How can we automate all this CI/CD? So there is a two way. One is UI way, another one is coding way. Which one you want? UI way, okay. Coding way, okay. So for this UI, do we have any plugins for it? So can you tell me some of the plugins which you have used? Any plugins which you have used? Any plugins for pipeline?
Git.
No. Jenkins
Maven,
plugin.
Jenkins
No.
plugin. Yeah. Git is there, right? GitHub plugins are there, right? In Jenkins.
No, not that. I said you want to develop a pipeline using UI.
Oh.
So which is the pipeline? Which is the plugins? So there is one portal which is called plugins.jenkins.io. Just let me search for pipeline. And here some of the options which you have. Okay. So this pipeline colon, if you see, don't touch that. It's a code way. This is the one. So do we have any other part from that pipeline? So see here, pipeline colon. Most of these are pipeline. Okay. So what exactly? How do you which plugin which is used? So basically there is a plugin available. Okay. But the problem here is that plugin got deprecated. That's called build pipeline. Okay. Very popular plugin. It used to be there. Okay. Now it's not that useful, but you can learn. You can still install and you can learn. There is some security issues, but for the learning, that's okay. You are not going to use this plugin, but for learning purpose, you can install this. So when you use this one, then you will get something like this. And if you look at any of my videos, I have used this plugin just to visualize that what is a plugin concept. So here there's one pipeline, and here you have a test, release, deploy to, and also. So it can be any phases, and these are the job. This is the job actually. These are the job. Okay. So these jobs pass and fail and run the pipeline. See that integrations is available. Okay. Here. So from here to here, there is no manual intervention. Either it can be pass or fail. It's called pipeline. Now this build pipeline plugin you can use for the creating a pipeline. That's one of the things. But I repeat, this got deprecated. Few more plugins are there, but I don't find that worth of talking about because our objective is to write up a Jenkins pipeline through the code. Make sense, all of you?
Yes, Rajesh.
Okay, so now code. How can we do that? So there's one plugin which we are going to use it, and that plugin which is an advanced plugin, and we all are using that plugin, and that is pipeline plugin itself. So here, if I search for pipeline, this one plugin which should only come with the pipeline. These all are plugins itself, but helping the plugin of the pipeline plugin. So by the way, this plugin will be installed default actually. Whenever you install the Jenkins, no, then the plugin will be installed. So I'm not able to locate that. These all are plugins related to pipeline only, but these plugins is basically supported plugins for the pipeline. You can say add-on plugin for the pipeline plugin. Okay, so everything I think it's everything. So if you want to see that there are 133 results, I don't want to spend time searching for it. So rather than what I'll do, I'll just go for and show you. So new item, and here it is. Well, here it is. Okay, so this is the pipeline plugin I'm talking about, and for that add-ons are also there. Based upon the use, you can install the as many add-ons. So now this you have pipeline plugin, which we are going to use it. Pipeline plugin. Okay, so now this is using what is Jenkins pipeline. So we discussed and how to create pipeline using Jenkins that we discussed now. Okay, now I would like to tell you a few more things. This coding Jenkins plugin using the pipeline plugin, this you can get in the Blue Ocean also. Blue Ocean. Now you'll say, what is a Blue Ocean? So Blue Ocean, just search for it here. This is the one. So basically Blue Ocean is a UI part. Okay, Blue Ocean, and designed for building the operation using the code itself. Okay, so you can use this one, or if you want to use the same pipeline code in the Blue Ocean, you can do that. So Blue Ocean has a very rich UI. So I would like to show you here Blue Ocean. So these are the code, but where's example? So let's look at this Blue Ocean example. Some of the examples I'll show you. Blue Ocean Jenkins one actually, because this is also pipeline, very good pipeline. Many projects they are using also this one. See that this is the UI for Blue Ocean, and this is the one which I showed you last time, right? That was a little outdated UI for these. All are UI for the Blue Ocean. And let me open up. So here, this is the UI for here. So this is the UI for the build pipeline, and this is the UI for Blue Ocean. And now you want to see the pipeline UI, pipeline Jenkins, and depends on the which UI you want. So this is the UI for this one. Got it, all of you? So this is the one, and this is the one which is traditional one, and last one, this is the UI for Blue Ocean. So whichever you want, same code will run here also and here also, no problem, but you will run the code through the pipeline. Are you making sense?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah, wonderful. So this is the depends on. So now today we'll learn start coding for that. So now let me get into the my blog, which will help me. So we understood that what is a Jenkins pipeline. This is the Blue Ocean. This is the pipeline. This is the pipeline. Now, why do we use a pipeline? I think I'll not give you the gyan, because we all understand nowadays, why pipeline? Because everything we are doing through the code. So we are code when we are doing coding for product, we are doing that one. Now we are doing, when we are doing coding for testing a product, and we are doing coding for infra for running product. Okay, when we are doing coding for securing a product runtime, securing a product runtime, and then you can say product means application software, you can say software, testing the software, running a product software, and all this stuff. So we are in securing, and then what else? Infra is done, securing is done. We are doing coding for building a product software. So the question is, why not coding for CI? Simple. So automation. So some of the benefits which we have is like it will, reuse it, versatile, extended, durable, code, and stuff like that. Okay, so why pipeline we discussed. Now the question is how to store, how to write Jenkins pipeline code. How to write Jenkins pipeline code, that is a question. Okay, so there is a two ways to write. One is scripted, okay, another one is declarative. Spelling mistake I might do that, please ignore it. So scripted pipeline and declarative pipeline. Okay, both are DSL. DSL means what is that? Declarative language. Okay, so here next questions you will do, where to store scripted pipeline or declarative pipeline, and then the answer is very simple, Jenkins file. The file name can be anything also, but typically we use the Jenkins file. Okay, so what is Jenkins file? So Jenkins pipeline can be defined using text file called Jenkins file. You can implement pipeline as a code using Jenkins file, and this can be defined by using the domain specific language. So this domain specific language means this is the scripted pipeline is a domain specific language what we have, and this is also domain specific language. Okay, I'll teach you that one. With the Jenkins file, you can write the steps needed for running a Jenkins pipeline. So benefit of using Jenkins file, you can create a pipeline automatically for all the branches, execute pull request, and just in one Jenkins file. You can do everything. You can review a Jenkins file code on the pipeline. You can audit that and blah blah blah. So this is the something which you need to understand. Clear, all of you?
Yes, Rajesh.
Okay, so now the main question you will ask me, so Rajesh, how do I know whether I'm writing a scripted pipeline or declarative pipeline? Okay, so you need to understand that. In the declarative pipeline, please understand that declarative pipeline, the DSL, the domain specific language, will start with the pipeline itself. Okay, pipeline. So whenever the code is start with a pipeline, that is declarative pipeline. So here you see the declarative pipeline is a relatively recent addition to the Jenkins pipeline, which present a more simplified and opinionated syntax on top of the pipeline subsystem. That means the declarative pipeline is a recent one, and it's more easier to write and understand. All valid declarative pipeline must be enclosed within a pipeline block. This is the one. For example, it said must. So that means if that pipeline which you are seeing, which is not enclosed the pipeline, that's a declarative simple logic. Correct now? All of you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So basic syntax, the statements and expressions which are valid in a declarative pipeline follow some rules which I'll talk about it. A rule as a groovy syntax with the following exceptions. So here, mind it here, you are writing the declarative pipeline, but some of the method functions and all this logic you will inherit from the groovy syntax. So then not able to understand that. So here what is happening, I'll put it in this way. See here, there is a one language which is called Python. Okay, and then Python has written certain libraries, and that library become Ansible. And Ansible read the file which is called YAML. So Right now, when you write a code in the Ansible, you have to write in YAML. But YAML is read by Ansible and Ansible is written in Python. So same way, if you see that Groovy. Okay, so Groovy here, when you run the Jenkins file, a Jenkins pipeline is a software. Pipeline is software. It can be in a jar file. Okay, so Jenkins pipeline read the Jenkins file actually, and Jenkins file. So Jenkins pipeline developed in this Jenkins file, which can be driven from the Groovy, and so that means whatever the some of the functions and the logic you can steal from the Groovy script. It's not a Groovy script, but remember that it's a, you can say like Jenkins file is a DSL written using Groovy. I don't know whether you understand or not. Are you understanding? Are you understanding? Hello?
Yes, sir, Rajesh.
Yeah. So that means you have to write a DSL, not a Groovy, but it will understood by Groovy. So it's like this. So here the basic statement and expression which are valid in the declarative pipeline follow the same rule as Groovy syntax with the following exceptions. What are the exceptions? The top level of the pipeline must be a block. Specifically, this is the one. Okay, no semicolon as statement separator. Each statement has to be its own line. Okay, and then block must only consist of section, directive, steps, and assignment statement. And last one, a property reference statement is treated as a no argument method invocation. So, for example, input is treated as an input method. So now you see that this is the Jenkins file declarative pipeline. So here, this is the pipeline. So in the pipeline, you specify the agent. This is the one line. This is another line, and you are starting block, ending block, starting block, ending block, starting block, ending block. So each line you have something like a call section directives. This is a directives. This is a directives, and here these are the steps. So this is only one step you have. So this is the step which is under the steps. There's a one stage which is stage build, which is under the stages, and this is a directive which is saying that okay, run all this stuff in the agent, which is a container managed by this. Are you understanding?
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah. So whenever you write first program, start doing the same thing. So here you can change the agent to something else also, and done. So this is the declarative pipeline example. Now this is the declarative pipeline example. We'll run it in just few minutes and we'll get started. Now let's see that scripted pipeline. So how to generate more code and all, I'll teach you. In fact, I think the last sessions also I showed you this one. And now scripted pipeline. So this is there from last so many years actually. So scripted pipeline is like a declarative pipeline, is built on the top of underlying pipeline subsystem. Unlike declarative, there's a difference. Unlike declarative, scripted pipeline is effectively a general purpose DSL built with Groovy. Okay, built with the Groovy. Most functionality provided by the Groovy language is made available to users using scripted pipeline. So if you want to use this one, okay, then you can use. One more time, you will just read this here. Look at this here. See here, the bake is here in the pipeline, declarative pipeline. Okay, here in a declarative pipeline, the basic statement expressions which are valid in declarative pipeline follow the same rule as Groovy syntax with the following exception. There's a something exception, but in a scripted pipeline, okay, in a scripted pipeline, like a declarative, is built on top of underlying pipeline subsystem. Unlike declarative, scripted pipeline is effectively a general purpose DSL built with Groovy. Okay, and most functionality provided by the Groovy language is made available to users of scripted pipeline, which means it can be a very expressive and flexible tool which one can author continuous delivery pipeline. So if you want a detailing way, you want to write a little bit of more code, go for the scripted pipeline. And if you are more declarative way, you want to do that, so declarative pipeline. So scripted pipeline is seriously executed from the top of Jenkins file downwards, like a most traditional scripts in a Groovy another language, providing flow control. Therefore, rest on Groovy expressions such as if else conditions and blah 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 blah, you can use it. So here, this is the one example for scripted pipeline. So a scripted pipeline will not start with the pipeline, and here it says, hey, which node you want to run? Docker, and check out SCM stage. There's a one stage. This is the build stage, and this build stage will run this Docker image container and some commands, which is step, which is like Maven version. Are you understanding?
Can you repeat again that one? That node docker check. Why
Node.
are they doing checkout, Sam?
So node docker means node docker means this will run in the one of the container from the Docker. Okay. That is the stuff. Now this checkout will happen in that container. Okay, and as part of the stage called build, in the container you are doing the docker.build, docker.image. That means you are using this image as a container for the node which is running the Docker, and inside the container you are trying to run this command.
Okay, but why are we doing checkout SCM?
Checkout SCM means here checkout SCM means SCM means there is one section called in Jenkins. Go to the any job. Let's say create some freestyle. Okay, for time being. And when you say SCM, this means source code management. So any option which is selected here, check out SCM. Okay, so check out SCM means it's a global keyword. That means when you say git and URL, that means this will be cloned. Here checkout SCM means the conceptually it says, hey, whatever the SCM configurations you have, check out that. Check out, it can be for the git, it can be clone also. Okay, but if you see that technically, if you see that any jobs, if I run it, let me show you that just a second. Let's say this is the one repository which I'm having it, and so here I'm just copying and doing this, and actually technically it is clone, it will clone, but actually verbally it will say checkout option, because git is Jenkins designed long back, right? So here you see that cloning the git repository, cloning, and it got failed because git is not running in that machine. So let me install it. Yum install get -y. Let it come, then I'll show you the checkout options. Just wait for a few seconds. It's taking a little time. So when after that, when you see that some message will be there, check out. So technically it's doing cloning, but in the message it will be saying checkout. That is the reason checkout SCM is a hard coded one in the scripted pipeline. Okay, it's from there so many years actually before even Git has come. Okay. So that is the stuff. So here, this is the scripted pipeline, which is not starting with the pipeline. This is the one. So this, you see the difference here at a small level. You see that only this one and this one. This is more easy to write. Here you can use all the Groovy script and blah blah blah, and like that. Now how to generate, I'll show you this one later. Now what is the difference between? So difference between declarative pipeline and scripted pipeline. So Jenkins file can be written using two types of syntax, declarative and scripted, which we discussed. Declarative and scripted pipelines are constructed fundamentally differently. Declarative pipeline is a more recent feature of Jenkins pipeline, whereas provides richer syntactical feature over scripted pipeline syntax, and is designed to make writing and reading pipeline code easier. So here this is the left side declarative, right side scripted. So here you can identify simple way. Declarative syntax is as advanced version of scripted pipeline with extensible feature. There are lots of feature and benefit you will get from the declarative pipeline approach. When Jenkins pipeline was first created, Groovy was selected as a foundation. Please mind it initially. So the earlier we were not calling the Jenkins pipeline. We were calling the workflow. That was a plugin names. Okay, in 4 or 5 years before, we used to call it workflow. Then when Jenkins pipeline was first created, Groovy was selected as a foundation. So Jenkins has a long shift with embedded Groovy engine to provide advanced scripting capability for admins and users alike. Additionally, implementers of Jenkins pipeline found Groovy to be solid foundation upon which to build what is now referred to as scripted pipeline DSL. Okay, so that means scripted pipeline has been written based on the Groovy engine, and that's the reason all the concept of the Groovy you can use it, as it is fully featured programming environment. Scripted pipeline offers tremendous amount of flexibility and extensibility to the Jenkins user because of Groovy. Groovy learning curve is not typically desirable for all members of given team. So declarative pipeline was created to offer a simpler and more opinionated syntax for authoring Jenkins file. This is the important line for you. So declarative pipeline is more simpler. Okay, you don't have to go into the Groovy all stuff like that and get it done. Both are fundamentally same pipeline subsystem underneath. They are both durable implementations of pipeline as a code. They are both able to use steps built into the pipeline or provided by the plugin. Both are able to utilize the shared libraries. Okay, so where they all differ, however, is in syntax and flexibility. Declarative limits what is available to the user with strict and predefined structure, making it an ideal choice for simple continuous delivery pipeline. Scripted provide few limits insofar that only limits on structure and syntax tends to be defined by the Groovy itself, rather than pipeline specific system, making it ideal choice for the power users and blah blah blah. So this is the terminology which we'll discuss in some time, and this is the one. And I wanted to show you different. Yeah, so this is some of the primary difference. So if you look at this here, which one you want? If you want the more simpler DSL, then pipeline, which is a more recent one, easy to write, and there are certain structure limitations are there. And if you go for the scripted pipeline, you can embed the Groovy code very easily. Also functions, if else, all these things you can use it in the scripted pipeline. But lots of learning curve. Pipeline is easy to learn and implement. Both are basically developed using the same base set. Understood, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay, so now let's get started with some example stuff. So here, this is the one code, this is another code. Now what I'm going to do, because I don't have a agent Docker, okay, so I will specify you know, nothing. I mean, I have a agent which is, I have agent, so here I'll specify nothing. That means any code, any node which is available. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. So first I'll show you this one, and this is not needed also, and this closing. So one is not needed. So simple. This is the node. Checkout SCM right now not needed, just for echoing purpose. sh echo Rajesh. That's all. So this is a small one, and here, so this is the node stage build. There's only one. Now if you see this code here, node stage here build and curly braces 2. So right now this is the scripted pipeline. Let me show the demo. Docker, I'm not hiding it because we need to have a Docker installed first. So let's go for it. New item, create one, pipeline 1, pipeline, click OK. Now build trigger and all, you understand this feature here. This code you can pipeline syntax, you can write just like this, or this code what you can do, you can embed in the what do you say, there's some issues expecting, let me see, copy paste mistake. Okay, so I was doing something. So yeah, so you can embed the code here just like this. Okay, and if you don't like this code, then you can call from SCM also. SCM means Git. So here you can say which SCM, so Git, and you can specify that where is your Jenkins file location. So right now I'll not go for SCM, I'm embedding it. You can have some free samples also. Here you can use it. Here you have some, this is the declarative, this is also declarative, this is scripted. So save it and build now. So there's only one stage which is called build, and here you see just echo program, so it got success. You can see the logs here and echo Rajesh, done. So now this is a way you can write a code, start with it. So now you can see the full view here, and so now what I will do, I'll create a multiple stage for it. Slowly I'll say build, test, and then build, deploy, or test. So echo, build, echo, deploy, echo, test. So now here we have a 3 test, and this is step, this is step, this is step. Now putting up all together, go to pipeline 1. So after after doing this one by one, so this is the first code, this is the second code. Now here I am saving it. I am teaching a scripted one, okay? And build now. Now 3 stage you got it: build, deploy, test. You can see that here everything's passing. Now what I want to do is I want to check out some code. So here maybe build, I want to check out some code. So what I'll do here, git, because checkout you will do through the what plugin. So you'll do through the plugins, which is git plugin. So manually, if you see that here, checkout is you are doing through the here git, right? So that way you are checking out the git, but which directory you want to check out? So I want to check out the directory. So I want to check out this directory, which is here. So git checkout, done. And one more thing, I just need to check that are we using quote or something like that. So single quote is sufficient. So this is the checkout. Okay, so now after this I'll use this code and remove it. So one by one. So here you are checking out the code. So now can we do this? And where's my Jenkins? Here it is. So go to the dashboard, go to the pipeline one, go to the configurations, go to the pipeline, and here, and save it and build now. Remember, I'm teaching you scripted one where you can use the Groovy also. So checkout is happening, it's taking little time, and you see here there's a failure also, and the moment it's got failed, second and third is not got built. So here let's see that why this failing. The failing because of what is this proxy?
Unable to access hello world Java Maven.
No. This error is really not things because I'm not using proxy, but still I'll just check my things, rajesh.proxy.com. So let me pause this recording. I don't know where I set up this proxy. Okay, I remember that now. Okay, so this system I'm using for many other work and for different training. So I think I've given some training for proxy here, and here this was the crop. So this is a fake proxy. So what we do? So I have to clean up everything. This is a fake proxy. Save it. Okay. So no proxy. So let's build one more time. So first build got failed. Build number 4 is in progress. You can see the logs. And you see the checkout, SCM checkout and all this. Last time I was trying to show you that one. Okay. So see. So done and refresh. Now can you see the workspace? So go to here, recent changes, pipeline. Go and see the build number 4. Here workspaces. No, workspace. Here you have a code, and this is the code. Okay, so now all the code you got it. So what do you want to do? So now I have a code. Okay, So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it. So manually, let me show you the how to build. So if you have a code like this, this is the normal job, okay? If you have a code like this is the code. Oh, no. This is no, no. Huh. So this is the code which you want to build it. Okay. So this is the code. So you will go to the what? Under the build section, you'll go and call a Maven because that is a Maven project, and goal you call it compile. Okay. So goal you will call compile. Okay. So this is the Maven goal compile. So
We need to create, right, in global tool configuration, the Maven and
yes,
thing.
yes. So how do we do that? So if you do this one, it will fail. Let me show you the first manual failure. Manual, you need to know the manual stuff, and then you will be able to do that. So see here, there's a failure because of Maven is not there. So what to do? Manually you'll go and set up this. So this thing, either you set through the code or UI is up to you. So now I'm going to set this Maven at the system level, which my code also will use it. So here, this is my Rajesh Maven. This is the name, and I'm installing it. Save it. Now go back to the job. Go back to the job and configuration. And build, see here, Maven. So now it will be passed. So something similar you have to do through the code. So what is the Maven version? Rajesh Maven. So what do we do in this case? So go back to the Rajesh-Maven, remember that. So what you going to do? So for that, we'll set up some variables. How can you set up a variable? So there is a variable which you can set up using the def. Let me copy paste because I don't want to do that. So there is a variable I'm setting up which is at def mvn home. This is the variable. Now where is the value will set? So value will set something like this. You can set in the stages. Here tool means global tool configuration, and here the Maven name is Rajesh Maven. So now this is something which you write. So you want to build it, right? So what you going to do? So you call this the MVN. Okay, MVN is one task, one MVN. In this code I have used the bat, sh and bat, and they're calling the MVN, but here I'm calling the MVN itself. Okay, so now how do we generate a code for MVN? Now I'll teach you how can we generate a code. So for that you go to Jenkins. Where Jenkins? Here it is. So go to the Jenkins pipeline, click configurations, and go to the pipeline, and here you have a pipeline syntax. This is where here snippet generator means scripted declarative. So I'm going to go for scripted. So here for that I will go for MBN. So let's look for the MBN somewhere. Where is that? It can be anywhere. So Git is here. Unix Junit. Do you see Maven somewhere? Maven will be there, but there are other ways to also build, which I don't want to try. PowerShell is here. Where is that Maven? PWD. See here. Archive. Not able to locate that quickly. So bat is there. I have to read little bit in detail. MVN. No. Okay. So let's search for this Jenkins pipeline calling Maven. Calling Maven step. This is step Maven step. Okay. So for that, MVN back MVN. So just a second. I'll read the documentations if it is available or not. Okay, let's read this. And here it is. This is a pipeline Maven. This is 404. It's okay. So, and here I'm seeing that so here SH is being used. JTK Maven is set for the tool. This is the okay. And where's Maven pom.xml compile. This is being used as a SHS only. No problem. Let's use this one only. So what I'm going to do is SH plugin I'm going to copy paste. And for that, copying it here. SH. Now what is this here? So Maven home will be built here. And then this is the one. And bin Maven. And here, these are the things not required. Clean compile. That's all. So here I am doing the clean compile. Something simple I'll do. Here you can do sh clean test. You can do clean test. Okay. So like that you can do. So next command I'm going to apply in Jenkins. So copy. This is the next command. And here I'm going to try to this and save it and run it. So here still the 3 phases only, but I'm doing a little bit more. So here build, see here it will build also clean compile. Let me see the logs and see here shell script in run. Here you see use the tool predefined and shell scripting which is here, and you see the building is happening here. So now this is the way it's happening the build, and here you are doing the testing, and we are calling like this. Are you understanding all of it?
Yes, Rajesh.
Yes. So something you can do here also, some script you can call using SS. Here you can, I'm calling the test, Maven home test and stuff like that. And so this can be written in a different way also. So let me try one more way, and which is you can see in the official page itself. So here tools, you can say agent here any, though you don't specify, automatically it will take action, but it's a good practice to do any. Here you specify the agent name, and here you can introduce the tools also. So here okay, this is the this is the pipeline agent. So I want the scripted one. So right now I'll just skip this one. So agents tools, delete this. So this is a scripted one I don't want to talk about right now, and so on. Okay, so this is something we can do. Now what we are trying to do, so let's go back to our task, main task. So we wanted to integrate with Git. So using the scripting pipeline, you just type Git plugin, and then whatever you want to do, you can do that. And then after that, you wanted to integrate with Maven. So Git is also done. using scripted pipeline Maven is also done. Now I wanted to print the JUnit. So first let me show you the JUnit what you are trying to do. So manually I'll show you so you'll remember that. So in JUnit what you do typically, there's a job. Manually I'm showing you this. So in the job you have a test. Okay, here you have a test and goal is test, and when you do the test automatically that JUnit get triggered, and after that you archive the JUnit reports. So manually I'm showing you here. Let it solve. See, the test has happened. There is one test got passed. Now where is the test results? So test results is there in these locations. If you see that under the target location, surf file. So now what to do manually? So you want to see the test report. So for that, post build actions. Here you can do. Where is that? Publish JUnit test results report. So this is the plugin which you are trying. Remember, this is a plugin, and give the path and star.xml. So JUnit will be there in the XML, and then if you want to modify this one is okay, and then done. And the build now. So build number 4 is progress. It will not take much time because it's a very small project. And see here, this is the test results. Only one passed. So how can we do through this code? So now you can do through this code only if after the testing. So what to do? Testing is done. Okay. So here, if you want to do, let me introduce one more. Let me delete this and let me introduce one more. And here I'm trying to introduce the test. So what to do? So I'll write, you can embed here also, by the way. Okay. You can put it in the different taskbar. So I'm embedding here only. Okay. So here I'm doing testing. So JUnit, and the input which is I taken was the location of it. So what I'll do, I'll copy from my previous code. It will be easy for me, and that is this one. Okay. So here you are just giving the path. So where exactly? So for anything, target surf reports, and this is the XML file. Understood? Manually also I showed you the same way, but using UI. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
So now copy this code and go to the Jenkins pipeline code.
I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Actually, where we are running the JUnit test case?
JUnit test case will be running in your the same node where the build is happening.
Yeah. I mean the command. Among all these things, where we are using that Maven home bin MVN clean test. Is this the JUnit test case?
No. Actually, the JUnit test case is running because of this line, Maven
That
test.
one. Okay. Test. Okay.
This is doing nothing but displaying and creating a reports actually in HTML form and the script. Okay. So here I was building the JUnit, but here just creating a report, so it will be easy for you. Okay. So now let's go for pipeline code, put it up, save it, build now. Now just let me refresh. Done. Now can we see that pipeline, and can we see the view of test results? So here this is the recording the test results. Now I want to show you the results. So go for this, and where is the results? Here it is. See that. So on the screen itself, you got to know what is the results.
How it is
Here,
coming on the screen?
look at this here, this part.
Yeah.
My
How did you include anything extra so that it is coming here on the
this
screen? The test
this line,
results.
this line.
Okay. Only because of that?
Yes, only because of
Okay.
okay. So now this is the stuff which I am doing. So what I did here, I build it. Here just echo, just faking out, and here test it. Now let me testing. After that, you can deploy some code. So what you can do typically, something like this, you can call Ansible script. So here you can call sh and Ansible script. So how do you call Ansible script? So now if you know Ansible, just a second. So so now here build has happened, test has happened. Now you want to deploy Ansible code. So here echo deploying something like this, and Ansible hyphen playbook and hyphen I inventory and deploy.yaml file. That is something which you can pass that now, and then code this. So this command you are passing to the plugin which is called sh. Something more you can do that. This will not work because deploy.yaml should be there. So I think I have a sample code in that. Let me check. So I have some sample code which you can run it, and here it is. Ansible playbook. Okay. So this is the playbook which you have. This is sample code. Okay. This install Apache and do something and blah blah blah. This is copying the jar file and all this thing. So yes, this will do that. So if you want to use this command, I need to check that logic, all the logic, but at least it will trigger. That's important. So Ansible and inventory file is also there here, and I'm running in the local host. This file I have to change it. So here, what is IP address? I forgot. So I'm running the same machine actually. So
The Ansible installation, everything you'll be doing it in the same Jenkins server, right?
no, theoretically you have to do in the different server. Depends on the different server. But here I have specified the same machine because I don't have right now. So whatever the script here, it will run all the files of here, and this is the command to run. That's all.
Okay.
Got
If
it?
it is a different mission, right? How we are going to call this? Do we need to mention the IP address?
In this here, you have to mention the IP address. Okay.
No,
I would
no.
suggest.
If I Ansible, right? If I have installed in some server X, okay,
Hmm.
when I am calling, right, SHX colon Ansible playbook, like that, I have to mention
Yes, yes, like that. This
IP
is the
address call.
no. This file which you
Hmm.
see, which will have a collections of remote IP address where you want to deploy your packages of this script.
Yeah, that is true. But somewhere we have to install the Ansible, right? How the system knows, the Jenkins system knows that the Ansible was currently present in so and so server.
So that is the that's Ansible. You need to run this command. You need to have Ansible here in this machine. Ansible is not here right now, so you have to install yum install Ansible or something. Got it?
Yes, Raj. Yes, Rajesh, I understand that. If the Ansible is present in the Jenkins server, whatever the command you have given, that will work fine. But my
Right.
question is, in the real time, we generally don't install the Ansible in the same server where the Jenkins is present. We'll install some X server, some different server we'll install, right? So if I want to perform the deployment activity, okay, here that sh command, right? Ansible playbook. Before that, do I need to add the IP address of that X server, something like that?
No. understand the concept here. Probably maybe you understand the things, but maybe I'm not understanding it. So understand this way. Forget about the Jenkins, right? This is your Ansible and ACS server, okay, and this is you, and you log into this machine and run this particular command, okay, and then this command will have inventory file which is here. In inventory file, this is the IP address, one more IP address, one more IP address, and you run this command. So you pick up the IP address and deploy that your playbook and do whatever you want. This is the
Okay.
things. Now what we are doing here, I am having this as a Jenkins server. So Jenkins itself is here, and I'm running that command through Jenkins. You are not needed anymore. That is what I'm doing this. So that means in this Jenkins, if you are running in this server, so Jenkins should be installed. But if other machine, so Jenkins should be installed. Sorry, Ansible should be installed here, and all the code should be also here. Okay, for time being, I'm using the same node as a agent. Means same node
Yeah.
as a agent.
My question is how the Jenkins is going to call the Ansible if it is installed in the some other server.
So you will create a node here. In Jenkins, we have a node concept, no? Just
Okay.
you will call the nodes concept. Here I am using only one node. Where is that? Somewhere here. So right now I'm having only one node where it's running. But you will add a node, and here you can say just like I was showing, agent node, that node Windows or something like that. This is the name of the Windows node.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah.
So we need to mention that node name here within the column.
Yes, here you have to do. Let me show you here. Jenkins pipeline scripted. Others, why I'm typing it? I can generate that code quickly. So here, go to the pipeline syntax, and here find out that node. It was here. I just saw that. Where is that? And node, which one you want? Linux node, and generate pipeline. See here, load Linux. So example, if you want to run different command in the different node, then here you can type like this. Understood?
Okay. If
This
this is
code
the case, that Jenkins
would
also is
run in a node called Linux. Got it?
yes, got it. But in this case, so in this Linux server, even the Jenkins will be installed because it acts as a Jenkins node, and the Ansible also is installed in the same server. That is how, right, it works?
No. Jenkins will not be installed in that node. See here again. Understand the architecture of Jenkins. So here, node means, understand this. When you say Jenkins, they have this is one machine, okay, and this is you. And when you install the Jenkins, basically you access the web part of it. That's a website, the one which you are accessing right now. This is a web part.
Okay.
But all this thing is done in the built-in node. Just now I showed you. There was one node, each machine is set. Now, if you set up in the other machines this node, then one jar file will be running, and the jar file will be making this as an agent. And still you have only one Jenkins. This is agent. This is agent, and here one jar file of some small software will be running, which will make the agent. Got it?
I forgot. I used the wrong terminology. Yes, I understood.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
now.
So in this, wherever that jar file, right, in the agent, in this file only the Ansible also will be installed. So we'll be
True.
executing the
Here
Ansible
Ansible
command.
will be installed. Yes.
Okay.
Here
Understood.
also. Yeah. Okay. So now this is the stuff.
Understood.
Now what I'm trying to do is just faking out this statement. It will fail, but just faking out this statement. So what to do? Here. and last stage will fail. Okay, I save it back now. Okay, so this is the way I did compile, I did test, I'll do the packaging also. So here one more packaging. So here packaging for that, test packaging, and refresh. It's in progress. It will fail. Last stage will fail. So here package. Now here goal also you have to change package. This is not required. And here package. Okay. See, last goal failed because it was expected fail. Okay. So now I'll do the packaging. In the packaging also there is one more thing you can do: archive the packages, archive the things. Archive means, let me show you that one functionality is there. If you go to the normal job, go to the configurations and post build actions, there is one more act here, archive. So this options will do, you know what, any files which is there in the target locations and star.jar, which will make it archive this and put it at the link on the this one Jenkins job head dashboard. So that archive we can use it. So let me copy code and paste also. So where is it code? I have a code all this ready, so I'm just copying it, and this is the simple code, and put it up here after the packaging. Done. So archiving all the jar files of this one. So let me copy this whole things and go to the Jenkins.
You're simply mentioning archiving, right? How it will know
Archive.
that it has to go to the Nexus?
No, archiving I'm not sending to Nexus. I am sending only to I'm instructing Jenkins only to archive that package. Don't delete. Okay, and
Oh,
it's display
okay.
on the home page. I'm not sending to Nexus.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
yeah. So now this is something which is here, and then save it. Build now. Again, last will fail because deploy anyways the script is not there package. Okay, so Ansible is not installed. So you see that here. So here test package, test and refresh. I said package. So package, and then finally last will fail anyways. So deploy will fail. Okay, so this is the way you can write the scripted pipeline and all the stages, and slowly you can build. Are you understanding now?
Yeah. Why is it failing in the last step, the Ansible step?
This is not installed, no?
Oh, only because of that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you the logs. Just can you see that here? Go to console output and go to the bottom section. Okay, this is still doing the something else. What he's doing? So maybe packaging. I need to check. Okay, so let it happen. Okay, it's still doing something actually. Maven work. So package is in progress right now. After the packaging, it will go to the deploy, which has not gone so far. It's taking time. Yeah. So did you understand that?
Yes, yes. Got it. That.
Okay. So now what we'll do, we will get into the some of the JUnit is done just now, and Jenkins means what? Nothing is like, right? So Sonar Cube, Nexus, Ansible, just now I showed you. Let me do one thing. Let me complete this demo also. So it should success. So for successing, what I'm doing, I'm just doing some cheating. What cheating? So I'm installing the Ansible. So now the question is, how do we install Ansible? So I need my tutorials for this. So Ansible installed, and now so many ways to install the Ansible. So which one to try? So install Ansible complete installations here.
Rajesh, in real time, do they really use Ansible Tower?
Uh, Actually, it's a very good question, but
Because
to be honest,
some people who are working, when I asked them, they told they are only using Ansible Enterprise. They are not using Ansible Tower. That is what the answer they have given. But
no,
then the
no,
question is, they'll be
yeah.
using the Ansible Tower also?
See, there is no as such called Ansible Enterprise. Okay. So
Oh,
earlier we had Ansible, which is a command line tool. Ansible Tower is a GUI tool. That's all. Two. Ansible AWX, which we had, which was Tower version, but it's a free of cost, which is the latest release, non-tested one. Now, Ansible, now they are not also talking the Ansible Tower, they are talking about Ansible automation platform. Okay, so they brought it multiple products together and they call it Ansible automation platform. So it's just playing with the words and all. Who's using, who's not using, again discussion required. But yes, people wants to learn.
okay. But where do they store the user ID password details? Because we cannot mention it in the inventory file, right?
Yes, in the Ansible Tower is running with the Postgres database. So all these things securely
Oh,
they
that
store in the
okay, okay.
credentials.
That also the PostgreSQL. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
who will be
Okay.
entering the user ID password for that?
In the just do one thing because it's very difficult to answer. It's UI based application, so you have to first insert the credential, and after that, creating the template, you have to call that credential, which will be in encrypted format actually.
No, the why I am asking is like when I was working in Citibank, right? We have custodians.
Yeah,
Half password will be there with one custodian, the other half will be there with the other custodian. So they used to
sure.
come to our desk and they used to key in the password. So nobody knows the full password.
I think they are not using Tower in that case. They are using
Yeah,
Ansible.
there we are not using Ansible at all. I am generally telling. So whenever we create any new servers or anything, right? When
Yeah.
they used to key in the password or when the password reset happens, the custodians used to get the passwords like off password. They used to come and key in. Like
Sure.
that, I'm asking whether we'll be having the rights to key in the password or there will be some other custodian who will come and key in the password, something like that. My question.
Yeah, it depends. Depends on the organizations actually. Okay, so let me do this quickly. I'm taking little time to install the what is it? Uh, Ansible because three and this command will install the Ansible. Okay, so now
Okay. What are
now
the
I'm
above
not.
commands?
These are the RPM file which will update your
Oh,
this one.
downloading. Okay, okay. RPM
Yeah,
files. Okay, okay.
yeah. EPL update will happen. So this package
Okay.
will be activated. So let's create the commands. Installation will be in progress. Now what to do? So I'm not complicating this command here because it will fail because of some reason. So here what I'm doing, Ansible -m setup module. This is a simple command I'm running, which will give you that all the variables and stuff. So this way you will get to know this command will be running. So that's all. So now
What is that
I
minus M setup? What is that command will do?
minus will do minus m is module and the module name is setup module. So the setup module will give you all the variable, which is called fact variable for the system. So this is something which I'm going to run. Okay, so now this is the one command which I'm going to run it, and for that, where is my Jenkins? And my Jenkins is here. Okay, so now, and so this was last what failed. It was expected failure configuration. So this is a Ansible command which will be running. So you can run it. I think by now it got installed maybe. Oh no, still installing it. But anyways, let me commit the code here and save it. And just wait for the installations to be completed. And after that, verify this stuff. So this is the things. So now after this I'll teach you how to integrate with SonarQube and how to call Selenium, how to call Nexus, how to Docker. Basically, you can use as an agent, okay, and
Okay.
also so all this thing you can do that, and also top of it, how to do the conditional programming and the different types of variables and all stuff.
Co-
Many topics are there which we'll talk
Yeah,
about.
one question. Can't we create the application as a Docker container?
Yes, so for that you have to call this command, which is something like this. Docker, what you want? Docker image, right? So there's a
Yeah, yeah.
command Docker Docker commit or Docker build. These are the command you can call with the file.
So if this is the case, we have to run the Docker first, then the Ansible, right? The deployment step.
Yes, logic first you decide manually and
Okay.
then put it up in a pipeline.
Okay.
Let it happen. It's last step. And finally I'm going to trigger this last job build now. And it has a build, test, package, deploy. This is the Ansible command using deploy. Archiving we have not done. Archiving is this is done. Archiving in the Nexus is not done, which I will teach you. SonarQube scan is also not done, which I have to add. We'll do that. So this will be done faster. It will not take much time because Maven cached that all the files first time, and after that. Okay, so now this code I am going to share with you. Whatever I write, just I document it for you only. So,
Okay.
so where to put it up? So, just and Jenkins pipeline example code, and here I call it Jenkins file, and all this code one by one we'll have to execute it. So and it. Now this one, and here, so new post Jenkins tutorials, Jenkins pipeline Jenkins file, Jenkins file, Jenkins, right? Yeah, Jenkins file example, and copy and HTTP here, close it, publish, done. So only two page now you have to spend time with, and that is this one, and second one which I was using for for this was in this page. So today you practice these two, and next sessions I will talk about two more topics.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, then see you tomorrow.
Mm.